Hello. So recently in the latest video that I did where I got 190,000 kills and 400,000 damage percent, someone asked, how does this build actually work? Um, it it's completely playing around abusing one legendary and one unique in conjunction with each other. There's several moving components that go with that to really take advantage of it, but the main unique that I'm talking about here is Sacrilege. Sacrilege is a misunderstood unique in a lot of context. Most people will just take this at face value and read it as 1% versus 3%. 3% is on the negative, whilst 1% is on the positive, so more often than not, you're going to get a negative than a positive. This isn't true, because you also have to look at the cooldowns. If the 30% succeeds, it goes on cooldown, but whilst that 30% is on cooldown, the 100% can still succeed. So this means actually on average, you're gaining a 70%, which is just massive. Um, and since we were killing things so fast, we were basically rolling these every single time an enemy died. Now, the way that we were forcing it to roll so frequently was in conjunction with a special affix that can roll on RNG items, which is Be Afraid. Every time you break an enemy barrier, you roll to see if you fit. Well, you don't even roll, sorry, they just become feared. It's a guaranteed trigger. So this means this is going to activate on every single enemy that we kill, which is then going to have a chance for these to succeed. Since we were killing so many enemies, you can see now where the damage is coming from. So how do we get it to proc so frequently? Like, how do we get this to trigger so frequently and so fast? Well, D100, every enemy has a barrier. So you just hit enemies, and eventually they'll start to trigger. There, you can already see that we gained plus 70%. That means both of these succeeded. Because we got a 70% there, that means the 30% got taken away, and then the 70%, the 100% got added, so we got a 70% positive.
Blessings.
So the combo that we're looking for mainly is, firstly, on time, we want Force, we're just going to take Novice because it's a test. Now, as we're pulling these shards through enemies, that's damaging them, and that's also having a chance to trigger. So this now means we're having multiple things happening every single time an enemy dies, because an enemy will die, drop experience, hit an enemy with that experience, we then gain a roll on this, have a chance to get it, but also because we're hitting an enemy and breaking their barrier instantly, we're also rolling this. So now that's 2 rolls on every single spawn of an enemy. So how do we take this even further? Well, if we go across to, say, our next god, which is lovely Mort over here, we want Black Serpents. Now we are shooting out these Black Serpents, hitting enemies. Yeah, this isn't a power, so this isn't going to give us a trigger. But there's a combo with Mort that makes this go crazy, and that's this, Malady. So what does Malady do in this? Well, now that Black Serpent is spreading this curse, and you can see every single enemy that is spawning is basically cursed. It's immediately taking that damage. It's just spreading it like crazy, and you get instant, pretty much pops of just triggering it as well. But obviously, there was something else going on in the run that is very, very important and was how we were actually doing all the killing. That is comboing 2 things here from Summer. Firstly, we need Searing Attack. Searing Attack is important because 1, applies Burning, which is a status effect that's going to spread through Malady. So now every enemy that spawns is going to be on fire and is going to have it's going to instantly to Be Afraid because we're going to do so much damage that it's going to kill them outright. That will then obviously roll on Sacrilege. But also, because of the fact it's like we're doing burn damage now, you can see the frames are already tanking from just how much burn is spreading.
Time is all about the.
It means that we can also find Combust is actually very good at this as well. It's not needed. We want this, Incineration. At a higher rarity, Incineration is crazy, because at Masters, I think it's like 3%, 3 second space, but now, every enemy that dies is going to leave behind a fire puddle. These fire puddles, as you can see here, if I move towards them, are under every single enemy that dies. Every single enemy that spawns will walk into these fire puddles instantly gaining burn. But I wasn't moving, so what was actually happening was we were hitting enemies, they were dying, new enemies will spawn, burn, drop fire puddles, they will die, spread malady, and eventually it spreads so far to the point that it's spreading onto the enemies that are now respawning. They don't have to walk forward, it's just they're instantly spawning in the fire puddles. And if I go here, you can already see we're up to 1.7k. If I now move, watch how much experience we get from all the killing that's just happened. We can roll and hopefully feel force. We roll here, we'll get the Black Serpent infusion somewhere. Yeah. Take a henna. Intensity. And it's like, now at this point, it doesn't matter. We're just basically just clicking stuff to level, just make sure we hit the things that we actually want. Take Mayhem, looks free damage. Black Serpents. We're level 17. You can stand over here, wait for more experience. And you can see there already we're hitting for like 13,000s. We're at 1,700. And it's going. Now we'll take Black Serpents again. This is pretty much the gameplay loop now. Like, technically, we don't have to move anymore. The run is done. Like, the game is over. We've beat the game. It's just a matter of just getting as much experience as possible. And just letting the killing happen. Like, you can hear everything dying off screen, etc, etc. And now move and pick up this experience. Let's see how much experience was inside this gem. Only a few levels. Preferably we would have, what's it called? Execution as well on top of this for even more experience. Just make sure we haven't already got it. Fortunate. We have to make sure we have to banish stuff like necromancy, because they can actually cause us to be awkward. The summons that can take aggro kind of pull enemies to like the side a little bit, and then what this does is like it makes it so malady is less likely to spread to a new spawn, since the enemies will be too far away from each other. But yeah, you can see we're already scaling like crazy, and it gets ridiculous. But obviously we're at 3,200% right now. How did we get to 400,000? The first part is obviously the amount of enemies we're killing, but the important part to note about Sacrilege, it's an item. Items are in a separate bucket when it comes to multipliers and death must die to blessings and shrines. So as you pick up stuff like Shrine of Power, which is the gain 100% for 30 seconds, that's actually a 100% multiplier onto whatever we just got from Sacrilege. But since our current damage percent then is so high, the new Sacrilege values we're getting in that window are inflated because of the fact, obviously, we have a 100% multiplier on our gain suddenly. On top of that, you can then get the Fates blessing that gives you damage percent as well. You can get stuff like the tree that gives you damage percent when burning enemies die. Obviously, very good in a combo like this. This. Yeah, you can see it gets pretty ridiculous. Like, you end up getting so much damage percent that there is no enemy in the game that will have the EHP value to be able to actually survive what we're doing right now.
Deaths.
If you get something like Gem High, it goes even crazier. You can even take Obliteration Ritual here and just let that do something too. But yeah, that's just an explanation of how this build works. I don't want to sit here and do an entire run. See, we're at 4,000% already. I don't want to sit here and do an entire run. I wanted to keep this short enough just to have it as like a... This is how the build functions. You can see Incineration's already at 10 mil, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Hope that helped. I'll show talents real quick. They're not really that relevant. There's only a couple things in here that you should really look out for. Which is the pull area and the dice. Level up offers don't really matter since like you can do all this with just level 1 blessings. It's just a matter of hitting the malady combo pieces. Attack range is very important so you can actually hit enemies off screen. That's how much of attack speed. This is just in case we go gem high. Flex doesn't really matter. Rain of arrows is nice because it just gets your combo going faster earlier. You can get faster experience. Bouncing arrows is great because it means your arrows will like now bounce. So you kill one enemy. If an enemy spawns too far away from malady, well, don't worry, you still have your bounce, so it'll bounce to it and spread anyway. And yeah, that's pretty much the main combo pieces from the tree there. We got all this stuff here, just like start spreading, like immobilize and stuff as well, so they make sure enemies stay in the fire. But the most important part is just the attack range, the attack speed, and then this corner here for like the dice and the offers. The dice and the pull area, sorry. And then the other important thing is making sure you have a decent level of master and legend offer. You see here I'm using 2 power slots. That's to give 4 power slots here. Otherwise we'd only have 2, which means we'd only have force and incineration, which is fine. That's all you really need. I ended up... You can technically do this, which I would recommend doing in all honesty. And that is running Silk Road, plus running Brilliant Pearl. That gives you 46% legend offers. I'm running Golden Bow, it gets 13.4%. I'm also using a tier 2 helmet from Act 2 patch. This is not something that you can get right now, but you can get like a 2.5% master offer helmet instead. This is just got a lot of dice in it. Got a lot of dice here as well on this goblet. This is the best type of dice roll you can get on a relic. Then we're using a attack range rolled amulet, attack range rolled gloves, the boots of Be Afraid, master and legend offers ring with a little bit of experience gain and a banish dice. Then of course sacrilege. I hope that made sense. It was just a small explanation, and I'll catch you in the next one.